first understand that uh, how to create the tables using the general iceberg code which the people have Netflix had basically given, and then going forward we'll see something different, right? So see, so we have created the table right now, correct? Now when I describe the table, what will happen? So to describe the table, I've written describe extended department. So when I run the code describe extended department, I'm able to see the extended metadata information related to that particular table. Basically, that's what you can notice. That's what you should understand. Okay. So over you can see that these are the three column names that we had in place for the department table. See, department ID, department name, business unit. All right, that's what we have done. It's integer string string, and it's partitioned by business unit, integer string string. But what I told, it's partition on business unit. So part 0 business unit. Now when you had written another partitioning column, then it would have been part 1, and then the name of that of the particular column, right? The next thing over here that we need to know is metadata columns. So multiple metadata columns are formed, correct? So let's not get into this part. I'll explain you these things. So what's the provided that's written? It's written provided is iceberg. From this we get to know that this particular table department is an iceberg kind of table. That's what you get to know, right? So just get into mind that this particular table is iceberg table, kind of table, and the table name is department. It's being partitioned on business unit, and what are the column names and the data types. That's what you get to know when you run the code describe extended department. Now let me get into the metadata file path. Now from how do I get the metadata file path? Okay, so it's the location of the particular what? It's the location of the particular table. Now dbutils.fs.ls is basically the command which Databricks provides. It's a kind of magic command which Databricks provides to actually go through the files. Okay, it's not the magic command, like it's a kind of magic command basically. All right, so you can go through the files. All right. Now, when I run, what I can see over here, it's department over here. Okay, let me just copy the thing and I'll write this one. Okay, let me run dbutils.fs.ls. Now, in this particular folder, what I will find is the metadata. It's what it is. Now, is there something inside that? So, within the department folder, I have the metadata folder. So, when I write metadata, what will happen? Do you think something will be inside there? Of course, there will be something inside that. We have learned that we have multiple metadata files that are created when we run the when we create any particular iceberg table and or when we insert into it, right? So what should be there? Let's see. You see, these are the two files that are created when you just created a table. What it is, v1.metadata.json. It's the metadata file basically. All right. And what is this file? It's the snapshot version basically, version int. I told you, right? Now what should be inside this version int? What is the version of our particular table right now? It's version 0, right? So let us see that what it has basically. Okay, okay. I've just explored it over here, so we'll get to know more about it. So let's see. So version and path is this, right? Version int dot text, correct? Let us just read it. What's inside it? What should be it? Whether it should be 0 or 1. We'll get to know about it. We'll read the text file. Okay, so it's version 1. It's telling by default that we have the first version of the table right now. All right. Now there is another file over here what we have also seen, right? What we have over here, we have the metadata file inside the metadata folder basically, correct? So metadata file v1.metadata.json, correct? So this is the metadata file. Now I've read this particular metadata file. It's basically a JSON file, and I've read this particular format because there was an issue which was occurring because of the rescue data column. Okay, So if you see over here, there are multiple parts to it. We'll get to know about this basically, but it's the kind of thing that's stored inside the metadata file basically. All right. So you can see ID1, ID2, and ID3. So there's a specific ID associated with a particular column. That's what you can see. ID1 is associated with the department ID column. ID2 is associated with the department name column. ID3 is associated with the business unit column. Okay. So there are multiple things to it. We'll get to know more about it. Now suppose if we insert values into this particular table, what will happen? So let's just insert it. So we have inserted, but it's a bug in Databricks that if we insert into this table, we are not able to look at the number of affected rows. But when we select on that particular table, we are able to. Now, what is the bug and when do you see this bug? You see this bug when you are using the iceberg table format basically. That's what we are seeing. Usually, if you use the delta, which uses the Unity catalog basically, you will not see this error. Okay, that's the bug that I have noticed. That it's a bug with Databricks basically when you are trying to utilize the access mode as no isolation shared, and you are using the iceberg table format. Then when you insert into the table, Databricks by default doesn't show anything on the screen even if you insert on the table. Otherwise, it should have shown 3 3 in the number of affected rows and the number of inserted rows. It's all right. When you run on select star from department, it's what you can see, right? That's what has been inserted. Now let us again look into that what is inside the metadata folder. Like after insertion of this particular record, is there something extra being formed inside of the metadata folder? Of course it will be formed. Now what are the other metadata files that we know of apart from the metadata.json file? It's the basically the manifest list, right? The manifest files that we know about, right? So let me run the like this code. So what you can see, we have v1.metadata.json, we have v2.metadata.json, all right. And apart from that, like see, this is the version 1 of the metadata file. Then we get to know the version 2 of the metadata file. And what should it contain? It should contain information relevant to the insertion, all right, along with the creation of the table. That's what the version 2 of metadata file should contain. But what it contains, we'll look into that in our next video maybe, right? Now we have two more files that we have over here. Both of these are avros. Just look at over here, dot avro, and over here also dot avro. Okay, but there's a difference. What I've told you, we have got two metadata files. We have got manifest list and also the manifest file basically. Now from this, you need to identify which one of this is basically the manifest list and which one of these is basically the manifest file. So both manifest list and manifest file have their file format as .avro basically. All right. So what one of this is the manifest list and which one of this is the manifest file basically. All right. So manifest list is the one which basically contains snap within it. So snap dash this one is the manifest list. All right. And manifest files are the ones which does not contain snap within it. Just understand or remember using this. Okay. So this one is the manifest list. Snap dash dot avro, snap dash certain alphanumeric values, and then dot avro is the manifest list, and this one is the manifest file basically. Okay, that's what we have got to know. We'll also get to know that what kind of values are stored in this if we run this particular command. Okay, path does not exist. Okay, okay, yeah, this one was an older thing that I've done. So what we are trying to understand, this one, what is there inside the manifest list basically. Okay, let me just copy up this path. I put it over here. Okay, and then I run it. Oh, sorry, why is it happening like this? I take this up and then I put it over here. Okay, and let me just remove this particular entire thing. Okay, do you think it will run? It will obviously run. All right. So it's what inside the manifest list. Okay, these kind of information are getting stored inside the manifest list. We'll understand that how to read any manifest list file basically, and then we'll also look into that how does a manifest file also look, right? So let me just copy this particular path. I've told you that manifest file does not have anything called snapdash in its particular file path, right? So I've kept it. Let me just read it. What should have happened? Just think. So it's written that there's different statuses over here, right? So what is there inside status one? Like there are different kinds of things that we have inside it. Of course, we'll look into it in our next video basically. So if you see one kind of difference that maybe I can explain to you. See, business unit is technology. I have partition on business unit, right? A partition on business unit. That means various kind of the files which will be formed or partitioning the basis on which partitioning will occur across the different files is on the basis of business unit. So files will get divided on the basis of business unit. So partition one has business unit as technology, right? That's one kind of business unit at inserted. Partition two has business unit as sales. That another kind of business unit at inserted. Then third is also business unit. Okay. Okay, we'll look into this in our next video, maybe. All right. So, have we kept two things as sales? Okay, yeah, we have the two different things as sales, right? So the last two partitions were kept were related to sales, and the first partition is related to technology because that's on the basis of which we have partitioned that particular table, and on the basis of the partition column, the files will be formed, right? So for technology, there will be a different file and a folder. For sales, there will be a different folder. So folder division basically will occur on the basis of the partition column, right? Now let us see that what will be the version of the particular version what will be the version that is kept inside the particular version text file. If you run this file, it's the value 2 is stored. Okay, all right. The first version was prior to insertion of data into the table, just after the creation of table, and the second version is right now when you insert values into the table. Okay, so like after this, of course, the metadata file will change. It's v1 right now, but we'll also have we can also like it's the same v1 prior to insertion and after insertion is all same, but when we run the v2 metadata, when we read the v2 json file, it's again something different. Okay, we'll look into this thing. Yeah, so when you again alter the table, okay, let me not run this. Okay, let's just understand up to this point in this video for the normal on the special data odyssey cluster, how we look into the metadata files, how will we explore basically on Databricks, how to create the table. We have looked all those different things. I'll of course attach the this IPI PYNB file in the comment section or somewhere in the description of this video. All right, so that's the first thing.